Hi, my name is Anna. I am 24 years old, and I'm from Toronto, Canada. I love to travel, and today I want to tell you about my trip to Tokyo, Japan. It was one of the most exciting adventures of my life. This was my first time in Asia. I had never been to Japan before, and I didn't know what to expect. But I was so excited to explore a new place and learn about a new culture. I packed my suitcase, booked my flight, and flew across the ocean. When I arrived in Tokyo, it was early in the morning. The airport was big and modern. People were friendly, and the signs were in Japanese and English, so I didn't get lost. I took a train to my hotel. It was a small hotel in Shinjuku, a busy part of Tokyo. There were many restaurants, shops, and bright lights everywhere. On my first day, I wanted to try Japanese food. I walked into a little sushi restaurant. The chef greeted me with a big smile and said, "Irashimasu." I sat at the counter and ordered sushi. It came on a small plate, and it looked like art. The fish was fresh, the rice was soft, and the wasabi was strong. I also drank green tea. It was warm and calming. After lunch, I visited a park nearby. The name of the park was Shinjuku Gyoen. It was peaceful and full of trees and flowers. I saw people sitting on benches, reading books, and taking pictures. There were beautiful cherry blossom trees. Their petals were pink and white, and they gently fell to the ground like snow. The next day, I went to a famous place called the Meiji Shrine. It was quiet and spiritual. There were big wooden gates and tall trees all around. People came to pray and write wishes on wooden boards. I wrote a wish too. I want to keep learning and growing. Then I bowed my head and said thank you. In the afternoon, I went shopping in Harajuku. This place was so colorful and fun. Young people wore cool clothes and interesting hairstyles. There were shops with cute items, snacks, and fashion. I bought a small pink purse with a cat face on it. I also tried crepes, sweet pancakes with ice cream and strawberries. Delicious! On my third day, I went to see the famous Shibuya Crossing. It is the busiest crosswalk in the world. When the light turned green, hundreds of people crossed the street at the same time. It looked like a dance. I stood on a bridge and watched from above. I felt small but also part of something big. At night, I visited a place called Akihabara. It is the center of anime, video games, and electronics. There were tall buildings with big screens playing cartoons and music. I went into a shop with toys and comics. I bought a souvenir, a small keychain of a cartoon robot. There were also cafes where people dressed like characters. It was a very different experience. I also tried Japanese ramen in a tiny restaurant. The noodles were hot and tasty. I sat next to strangers, but we all enjoyed the food quietly. Japanese people often don't talk much when they eat. It was nice and respectful. The next morning, I visited Asakusa. There is a famous temple there called Sensoji. I walked through a big red gate and saw a giant paper lantern. There were many small shops selling snacks and souvenirs. I tried rice crackers and bought a folding fan. At the temple, I washed my hands, rang a bell, and made a wish. It felt peaceful. I watched people light incense and close their eyes in prayer. I felt lucky to be there. Later, I took a boat on the Sumida River. The boat moved slowly, and I saw Tokyo from the water. There were bridges, tall buildings, and people walking by the river. The sun was shining, and the sky was blue. In the evening, I went to Tokyo Tower. It looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's orange and white. I took the elevator to the top. From there, I saw the whole city. The lights sparkled like stars. It was beautiful. The next day, I took a short train ride to a place called Mitaka. There is a museum there called the Ghibli Museum. It's about Japanese animation. I saw drawings, models, and short films. It was magical and full of imagination. I remember the cartoons I watched as a child. Every day in Tokyo was new and exciting. I used maps and apps to find my way. Sometimes I got lost, but someone always helped me. People were kind and polite. Even if they didn't speak English, they tried to help. I also tried saying a few Japanese words. Hello is konnichiwa. Thank you is arigato. Goodbye is sayonara. It was fun to learn and practice. After 1 week, it was time to go home. I packed my things, took one last walk around the neighborhood, and said goodbye to Tokyo. At the airport, I felt happy and a little sad. I had seen so much, eaten delicious food, and met wonderful people. Now, I am back in Canada, but Tokyo is in my heart. I look at my pictures and remember the lights, the sounds, and the smiles. This trip taught me a lot. I learned not only about Japan, but about myself. I learned how to be brave, curious, and kind. The flight back home was long, about 12 hours. I sat by the window and watched the clouds. I thought about my week in Tokyo and all the new things I had seen. I felt proud because I had traveled alone and learned so much. At home, I showed my family and friends the souvenirs I brought. They loved the photos of cherry blossoms, food, and city lights. I told them about the people I met, the temples I visited, and the streets I walked. They asked me many questions. Was it hard to find your way? Was the food very different? Did you see Mount Fuji? I smiled and answered. Sometimes it was hard, but I used my phone to help. The food was different, but it was amazing. I didn't see Mount Fuji this time, but maybe next time. The experience changed me. Now I want to travel more. I want to visit South Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. I also want to go back to Japan one day, maybe during a different season. In spring, I saw cherry blossoms. Next time, I want to see autumn leaves or winter snow. Since I came home, I started learning Japanese. Just a little, simple words and phrases. I use an app on my phone and practice every day. I also watch Japanese cartoons with English subtitles. It helps me understand the culture better. Travel is the best teacher. It shows you new ways of life, new food, and new people. It teaches you to listen, to be patient, and to smile. Even if you don't speak the same language, a smile always works. My advice to you is, don't be afraid. Try something new. Travel to a new place. Eat something different. Talk to someone you don't know. You will grow, learn, and feel alive. Thank you again for reading and speaking with me. Keep practicing English. Every day a little more. You can do it. I believe in you. See you in the next story. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed my story. Reading and speaking English with real stories is a great way to learn. Thank you for practicing with me. Let's keep going. See you next time.